Good evening, YouTube. 2 videos in one day has got to be a record for me. But I saw Fox News, which I hate Fox News. Sean Hannity, if I could legally get rid of this fool, I damn sure would. But I happened to be flipping between CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News, and I caught this. And I basically, I was just so upset about this. I waited for it to come back on the second time so that I could record this interchange and make a video about it. Now, Fox or false news, they love twisting stuff and trying to talk over people and just not letting people complete their thoughts. Now, you're going to see a video, and it's quite long, so I'm going to apologize in advance. But they have this reporter, black reporter by the name of Dave Kinchen, K-I-N-C-H-E-N. This man is a coon, and he's being tutored by Sean Hannity. All right, I'm going to start the video here, and then I'll come back at the end with my commentary.
Dave, it looked like you had gotten hit before. Are you okay?
One second. I'm sorry. What's that? Say again?
Dave, it looked like you had gotten hit before. Are you okay?
All the words you're going to use attack instead of people.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm all right. I'll tell you, this has been a pretty crazy situation here. There's at least 1,000 people here. This rally is called Philly is Baltimore. They say that they're lobbying folks, lobbying the police department. They're angry over what they call police brutality. Sir, just tell me why you're here. All right, tell me why you're here. This happened in Baltimore. Why are you here? Why are you doing this in Philly?
We are here because Philadelphia is ripe with the same types of concerns that we see in Baltimore, that we saw.
But that's a separate case, though, right? Isn't that a separate case?
In Philadelphia, we have police officers who have been fired for misconduct, but have been reinstated because of arbitration.
But the Freddie Gray case was separate, right? So why march in Philly when it didn't happen in Philly?
Because what I just said is a racist, systematic system it's a racist system that continues to disrespect and mistreat black people.
But hang on a second. But this case is under investigation. The case is under investigation. So why not? The question we have here is why not? Well, let me ask you this. Why not wait until the verdict is out? Why not wait until the information is out?
It goes beyond the individual case. It is an ongoing system that has continuously been corrupt over the years, and we are just now confronting it because now is the best time of all time.
Some say the process worked because of what happened in South Carolina when an officer was charged with murder. The question people have here is the people here on national television. Now, people want to know why not just wait until the information comes out? A lot of people are upset. The family's upset.
Okay, I'm stopping it there. You notice how he overtalked the sister, who was trying to give him an answer, and then he was condescending to her when she said systematic system, and in a condescending way he said systematic system, and then she caught it and corrected herself. All right, but let's continue. Here comes a brother, and he's going to be fairly elegant, and he's going to give an example, or at least attempt to give an example of the difference between when black people voice their opinions or feelings, and when white people voice their opinions and feelings.
Always cover up. For example, when the black people, when we rally, and whatever you call it studs, but when there's a basketball game, they start.
You're talking about something else. You're talking about something else totally different. Anyway, look, we're trying to get answers from people here. We're getting an station. We're not getting.
See, he cut the brother off. See, because the brother was going to say when black people want to demonstrate, they're called thugs. But when white people demonstrate after something as stupid as they want a basketball championship or a football championship, and they go out in the street and riot and burn shit up, they're for some reason they're never called thugs. All right, same behavior, different people. And one group are thugs, and the other group is just some good old boys blowing off steam. But let's continue.
People are information that didn't happen.
Dave, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Dave, why don't you ask them that there is new information that has come out from the Washington Post, from the medical examiner, that suggests that Freddie Gray inflicted the injuries on themselves. If the evidence shows that, are they not willing to accept that as truth?
Let me ask you this. The Washington Post, they have a report out that says, according to the medical examiner's office, Freddie Gray, his injuries were self-imposed, that he had deliberately injured himself. Now, if that turns out to be true,
where are we getting this information?
That's from the Washington Post.
A lot of the information that we have is from police reports that we simply cannot trust at this point.
Okay, and she's exactly right. A lot of the information you get in these police reports is phonied up. Okay, and be honest with you, if that boy did hurt himself in that van, and there are doctors that are saying that there is no way that he could have hurt himself in that van unless they gave him a rough ride. Okay, if they gave him a rough ride, obviously, you know, it's a possibility. I still in my heart believe that they hurt that boy before he even got in that van, and then the van ride basically exacerbated his condition. But again, the girl, she's making a valid claim. She's asking, where'd you get the information from? And then she's saying, you know, that information is unreliable because the police department basically obtained it themselves. That's why we need an independent investigation to get to the bottom of this stuff. And my understanding is the family had their own autopsy done, so we're going to have to wait for them to release that information. And I think they're going to hold on to it until the coroner's office releases theirs. But let's continue.
You can't trust it because you don't like the sound.
We can't trust the police report.
What if it's true? What if that is the truth? Why can't you accept that if that's true?
If that's true, it still doesn't erase all the systematic racism that people of color face from police officers.
So then can we have conversations about that instead of yelling at people? You told me that, you didn't tell me, but I've been told that I'm a sellout simply because we're reporting information. To me, that seems like that.
You're not focusing on the reason why we're out here. You're focusing on all of the distractions. We are out here because Black Lives Matter and because people of color continue to get mistreated and killed by the police. And we do not get justice.
Okay, and there he goes. She tells them why they're out there. All Black Lives Matter. Now he tries to shift it to make to belittle her by coming up with the "Don't all lives matter? Don't all lives matter?" Yeah, all lives matter, but we're out here specifically for Black lives at this point. Now, if it was, you know, something else, and some white people were out there protesting, we'd probably be out there with them too if it, you know, cops had done something, you know, to them. Okay, because basically it's the cops against the people. But, you know, this guy is a condescending coon. But anyway, let's keep going.
And we do not know Black lives particularly matter.
So all lives don't.
Because we are killed by
The purpose. Do you believe all lives matter?
All lives matter, but the purpose of Black Lives Matter is to address black issues. And when it becomes all lives matter, it directs the attention away from black issues.
So let me ask you this question. Let me ask you, if it turns out that the Washington Post report is true, that according to the medical examiner, that Freddie Gray, that his injuries were self-inflicted, if that's true, would you be able to accept that?
That still doesn't answer or account for the rest of...
Yes or no question.
No, it's not. It goes beyond the...
The answer is
Hey, Dave,
no,
let me ask
because
another question.
ultimately, ever since black people stopped working for free, they've been trying to get rid of us.
Go ahead, Sean.
You know, if we go back to the Michael Brown case, the narrative from day one was Michael Brown had his hands up, and then it was hands up, don't shoot. Then it turned out many black eyewitnesses corroborated the officer's story that that didn't happen. So why have we not learned not to rush to judgment?
Okay, here comes Sean Hannity with his Mike Brown. He's always coming back to that bullshit because the Department of Justice report did not confirm that he didn't have his hands up, and and they're always claiming that they have all these witnesses, okay, none of which have appeared on TV and said that he didn't have his hands up. So they magically found them, but all the witnesses that did appear on TV did say that he had his hands up. So that report basically couldn't confirm or deny that he had his hands up when he was finally shot. But Sean Hannity throws that partial truth out there, and it is a partial truth because they didn't confirm that he had his hands up, but they didn't confirm that he didn't. So he uses that every time he comes across a difficult situation and runs back to that rush to judgment, because people believe that Mike Brown did have his hands up, and I believe he had his hands up. But since the official Department of Justice report couldn't confirm that, he's calling that he didn't have his hands up. Anyway, let's continue.
Why haven't we learned that at this point?
I heard the second half of that question. If I understand it, you're asking that protesters had said that Michael Brown said hands up, don't shoot, but it turned out, according to witnesses, that that was not the case. Is that right?
Multiple black eyewitnesses in that case said that never happened, Dave.
Right.
Yeah, we need to get them on TV to go on the record.
In that case, multiple black witnesses said that indeed his hands were not up, contrary to the chants quoting him as saying his hands were up, don't shoot. So, why don't we just...
Wait.
So the question is, why do we rush to judgment?
Okay, we rush to judgment.
Information's out.
We rush to judgment because this has been happening since we got free.
Exactly.
This is a specific case in the Mike Brown case.
We're so
You can't compare one case to others.
Police force is not
There's separate issues, separate evidence, separate...
It's not separate because it's the same system. It's the same system that's ordering black genocide.
Well, hang on a second. So you're saying that the Baltimore Police Department ordered black genocide?
I'm saying
Your questions are redirecting
the system of the government. This government was built on oppression.
Ferguson, Missouri, that's a separate government.
See, even the white guy says you're redirecting. She's answering the question, and now he's jumping from what she's talking about and trying to pull it back into Baltimore, saying that the Baltimore, I guess, mayor and government is ordering black genocide. That's not what she was saying. She was saying it's an overall systematic deal. But this dude, again, and even the white guy caught it, is out there redirecting again. That's all they do. When you start to answer a question and you don't answer it the way they want you to, or you answer it and you got them, they turn around and redirect.
Separate jurisdictions.
On oppression. America can't.
Let me ask you, why do we rush to judgment on these issues? Why do people rush to judgment?
We're not rushing to judgment. The reason we're here is for justice. And we are here against injustice.
Does the system not work?
Specifically against the African American race.
So does the system not work?
That's not the issue.
You say you're waiting for justice. Isn't it true that the system is what we have to get to justice?
No. Listen, the cops in Baltimore were criminally negligent. And that's why
You've seen the report, you've seen all the evidence.
I have not seen the report.
Then how can you say that?
I've seen the video. The man's body was limp. His body was limp.
You saw every piece of evidence. You saw everything in the van.
We're not here for the evidence. We are here for justice.
So you can't make it. But how can you be here for justice if you don't have the information?
So listen, there's an educational system or lack thereof that exists here in Philadelphia and throughout the United States that institutionalizes African American men and African American women.
But what does that have to do with Baltimore?
That has a lot to do with the death of a 25-year-old man.
Before the information was out, before we know everything that happened, and again, with the medical examiner tell.
See, now the answer to that question is the system is unjust and weighed against minorities. That was the answer to the question. But this coon ass Dave Kinchen, he basically kept shifting till the brother basically just said, you know, this fool's not listening to me, and only a fool, you know, has a discussion with a fool. So he just got tired of it and said he had enough.
On the Washington Post, well, you know, again, Sean, again, there's a rush to judgment here. We've got officers here. I want to show you. We've got officers. They've been silent. They've been trying to hold the line. They've been trying to provide security here, and they've been doing a great job. And I got to tell you, most people have been civil. There were a couple of fights that started, but this whole thing has been civil. But when you ask people questions, when you try to get answers to why do we rush to judgment, why don't we wait until the system works? And gentlemen,
that's just it. The system don't work for us. It might work for him if Sean Hannity wants to bail his ass out of jail, but the system doesn't work for us. That's why the majority of the people that are incarcerated are black males, because the system doesn't work for us. that faggot ass Bill Clinton signed that crime bill, and basically it was just a license for cops to go crazy, lock us up, violate our constitutional rights with no consequence. So they've stepped up their game to the point of killing us because they know that they very rarely are going to face any consequences for it, and they're damn sure willing to take their chances. This fool out here, it just makes me sick. You know, he just makes me feel ashamed to be a black man because he's just being a tool used by Fox News and Sean Hannity, and it don't make no damn sense. You know, and as far as quoting the Washington Post, they have put so much misinformation out into the public, and then guys like Sean Hannity turn around and run with it, that it's ridiculous. It's just like they put out that story that the other prisoner had heard Mr. Gray purposely beating himself up against the walls and whatever. How the hell does a man beat himself against the wall if he's handcuffed and shackled? You know, that's ridiculous. Okay, but that being said, you know, let's continue because there's more to this.
Still make their all the answers. They still
we don't have all of the information. So the question is, why don't we wait until all the, as Americans, why don't we wait until all the information's out? Because it's not, and so we're making a rush to judgment, and it just seems like, well, but don't all lives matter? I thought you said all lives matter.
Black men get killed.
But what about all lives?
How many have you seen shot in the past 2 years by officers?
It happened.
How many white men have you seen shot?
But don't we say all lives matter?
How many white men have you seen shot by officers?
So we're going to make...
How many white men have you seen shot by officers?
You're not going to answer the question. You're not going to answer the question. They just minutes ago, hang on a second, just minutes ago, they were saying all...
Yeah, how many white men have you seen shot by officers? Now, it's true. Hey, officers are killing white people and Hispanics too. All right, but the question that he put to him was, how many white men have you seen shot by officers? And this punk ass can't answer the question. And he starts talking about wait for justice. Okay, John Crawford got killed, Tamir Rice got killed. We're still waiting for justice on those two. So how long are we supposed to wait for justice?
All lives matter. Hang on a second. But they said all lives matter, but then they're going on focusing on a specific race. Dave, can you hear me, Dave? Go ahead, Sean. Go ahead.
Yeah, by the way, a great job there. I know under very difficult circumstances, the crowd is obviously worked up. I actually do have an answer to this. There were 132 African Americans killed by police, and if you look anywhere between 7,000 and 9,000 African Americans killed by other African Americans. And if you look at statistics, I can give them all the statistics they want, but we do have a principle.
The point is, we didn't pay those 7,000 people that killed other African Americans, but we are paying the police. So what he's saying is we should pay the police to kill African Americans. That's basically what he's saying, because they're paid employees and they're paid by our tax dollars. So, you know, that's a false comparison. But anyway, let's finish it up.
Well, it's called people are innocent until they are proven guilty. That's the way our justice system works. It seems like many in that crowd don't want to abide by that. Or
yeah, people are innocent until proven guilty, but the only way that you can prove them guilty is if you can get them into court. And unfortunately, we've been very unsuccessful as far as getting police officers into court so that we can actually prove that they're guilty. They short-circuit the system by having the grand juries refuse to indict them, so obviously we don't have an opportunity to prove them guilty.
Not apply it to the officers in spite of you urging them to not rush the judgment. But great job for us, Dave. Thank you. All right, we'll get back to Dave later in the program. That's in Philly.
See, and that's why I can't stand Fox News. And it don't matter what color the person is that they have on Fox News as far as being a correspondent. The story is always the same. They, you know, if it's a white person, you know, obviously I'll understand why a white person like Sean Hannity will. Actually, I don't understand because, you know, they're basically blind, and I think obviously they're doing it for ratings. But when they get a Hispanic like Geraldo Rivera,